Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on our platforms. Reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today we are discussing a watch family launched in 2020. That is the Parmigiani Tonda GT chronograph. And this version with a silver white dial and Granada sub-registers was launched in 2022. This is an annual calendar chronograph, 100 meters water resistant, and a beautiful integrated sports watch. Let us proceed to the ergonomics. 42 millimeters in diameter, 13.8 millimeters thick as I measure it, and from lug tip to lug tip, 48.6 millimeters. And you can see that this strap design is integrated and proprietary. We'll throw it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. It wears quite well. I would recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference because it is fairly short across the wrist. You can see on both sides the lugs are coming nowhere near the edge, and down the barrel you can also see that this is planted solidly on the middle of my wrist. Proportionally, it looks great, and with a sloped case flank and a reasonably thin construction, it will slide underneath cuffs, including dress sleeve cuffs. The strap is integrated as perfectly as any bracelet would be. There are versions of these with bracelets. This one has a strap, and we have the same guilloche triangulaire pattern as we have on the dial. There's also a little bit of striation adjacent to that, and then a pronounced taper. It thins out a little bit towards the end. You can see that it integrates perfectly for an all-of-a-piece look. We have a double deployant clasp, and you can see in here, we use ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps to maintain tight snap tolerances. There's a combination of a little bit of polish and satination. We have a twin trigger release system, so you press the triggers in to open it. It can't fly open by accident. You can see the teardrop profile of the buckle matches these teardrop Tonda lugs, which also match the profile of the chronograph pushers. I love when you have design symmetry like that. And now we also have Parmigiani Fleurier branding on the buckle itself. The strap is quite supple. Some rubber straps are stiff. This one is easy to flex, and you can see part of that's because it's been evacuated on the bottom. By removing material, flexibility improves. It also allows the wrist to breathe better. Now here we have a screw-down crown and 100-meter water resistance, so you better believe this watch is suitable for swimming. It also has a wonderful knurling on the crown that's super sharp. I imagine it would be easy to manipulate even if your hands were sweaty or wet. We have these Tonda-style lugs, and teardrop lugs stepped out from the case band are in the Parmigiani design DNA. So too is bezel coining, which recalls the toric family. And you can see the bezel is actually a fairly complex assembly. We have this short vertical lip, then we have a sloped coined profile, then we have a more steeply sloped polished conical profile, and then a super narrow flat top. You can also see that there's substantial camber to this sapphire. Now the dial has that triangulated guilloche as well as the Granada or burgundy sub-registers. Let's just clarify the lume on this watch because I know some people will be asking. The answer is yes, but the black variant of Super Luminova is not terribly bright and it fades rapidly. So consider it to be more of a color accent than a useful luminant. We do have alpha style hands that have been, or they call them delta hands at Parmigiani, that have been skeletonized and polished. We have a double-digit date and we have a little month indicator. So we have a module atop the base movement that provides a double-digit date and an annual calendar with a chronograph. Do you think maybe Richard Mille is using this exact same module on its voucher basis? Perish the thought. Now the watch does give you a chronograph capability with vertical clutch engagement for a very smooth jump and stagger free start. And we have a double-digit date with a quick set. So when you're setting this annual calendar, you do have the ability to cycle very rapidly through the date. And it's a double disc, so it has a little bit of an upscale sheen that comes with those grand dot systems. I would also mention that the watch features a stop seconds or hacking function, so you can set it quite precisely. An annual calendar, which we have right here, only needs to be set once annually during the jump from February to March. And you can see there's a couple of different planes on this dial. It has excellent depth. Outboard, there's a track for reading minutes well as seconds and fractions of seconds. There is a concentric patterned track from which the cantilevered metallic applique hour markers emerge. You can see they have polished facets. Then we have the dial base with the triangulated guilloche, and then we have the gloss burgundy of the sub-registers, which are gloss and lacquered. So a lot going on that side. Note on the back we have a 22 karat mass, not 21, not 18 karat, not rose gold plated tungsten, but true 22 karat for maximum richness and also winding efficiency. We also have ceramic bearings, unlubricated, for high winding efficiency and minimal maintenance requirements. This right here is a Vaucher movement, because you can see the Vaucher star on the base plate. You'll see that same star on the version of the movement used in the Richard Mille RM11 and RM1103. It's a dual barrel automatic winder. It's got a 45-hour power reserve. It's free sprung for toughness and shock resistance. It beats away at 4 hertz. The twin barrels aren't so much here for an extended power reserve as they're here to ensure a very even torque release. So we have a very flat torque curve from max wind to minimum wind. So for example, you don't lose a lot of amplitude after 18 or 24 hours like you do with a single barrel. All pivots on 56 joules. You can see there is a soleil or sunburst Côte de Genève radiating out from the balance. We have solarization on the barrel. We have engine turning on the base plate as well as snailing around the edge of the bridges, and all the screw heads are polished. This is a fun watch and an underappreciated watch from a great manufacturer. Parmigiani makes every part of the watch. Through its various companies, it has a degree of vertical integration that would make even the likes of Rolex and Patek Philippe truly jealous. Well, maybe not jealous, but certainly it would command their respect. Parmigiani does it all. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.